Right, one, two, three. Welcome to the latest episode of the Soccer Podcast Show. I'm your host, Paul, and I'm joined by my co-host, Noel. So, Noel, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
No problem, Paul. How are you doing?
Okay, Noel, we're looking forward to the big game this coming Saturday, the 7th of September, Republic of Ireland versus England in Lansdowne Road in the Nations League. This is the squad that was announced earlier, so the Irish squad. So we'll just have a quick look at it first before we actually look at the game. So the three goalkeepers there, Kelleher, Travers and O'Leary, fairly standard with Bazunu out injured. So just a quick word.
Yeah, I suppose we look through the squad, Paul. I suppose we start with the goalkeepers, Kelleher. I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't. No, I'm not having to go on Liverpool, but he has to consider his own career. He didn't go in the transfer window, Paul, and I think Heimer Grimson, the new Irish manager, has said he does want his number one goalkeeper to be playing week in, week out. And at Liverpool, Kelleher's not going to be playing week in, week out. He might get a few cup games. Liverpool, of course, in the Champions League this season, so good chance he won't get many of those. Well, no, there's 8 games in the Champions League, so he might be able to play in some of the dead rubbers when Liverpool have already qualified for the next round. But yeah, there's a big decision now with Kelleher and Travers and O'Leary. I think Max O'Leary is playing week in, week out. Not sure about Travers, but Kelleher would be seen as our Irish number one. Now that Bazunu is out, he's out long term. So I think for Irish fans, a little bit disappointing. He's not going to be playing week in, week out, getting regular game time. So if Kelleher gets the number one spot on Saturday, fair enough. He's still a very good goalkeeper. But from a personal point of view, I would love to have seen him get a move away and play week in, week out, because he needs to test himself. I think in Liverpool, yes, he's getting a good contract. He's a great club, but for Ireland, I think most Irish fans would prefer him to be playing week in, week out. I think Travis and O'Leary are good options as well. But Kelleher is seen as our number one. So for Irish fans and Irish football, it's a little bit disappointing that he's not playing week in, week out for his club.
Yeah, now look at the defenders they're named. It's much of the muchness. Now, in fairness to the new manager, he did say he would be maybe standing back for these first 2 games and taking the advice from his assistant John O'Shea and as well. And so, what do you look at that? The defenders, nothing really stands out to me.
No, I suppose, but the only good thing about the defenders is that a good few of them now are playing in the Premier League. Jacob Bryan got his move from Lyon to Everton. I know he hasn't played on the first 3 Everton games, and with Shambles there at the back, he probably will get a look in now pretty soon enough. Leighton Collins, of course, is at Brentford. Darragh O'Shea got a move to Ipswich Town near the end of the transfer deadline, a couple of days before deadline day. So he's back in the Premier League. And with Daly, of course, is at Joan Club 9 first. Hopefully he'll get some game time.
Yeah, he's got no game yet, Noel. He's got no game yet.
That's the trouble, yeah. But I think he will get his opportunity. I think last season he hardly got looking before January, and I think he got in and stayed in the team after January. So hopefully he'll get some game time. Liam Scales is playing well at Celtic. Now, yes, I know Scotland people might say the standard isn't as best as Celtic are clearly the best team in that league, but he is still playing week in, week out. Robbie Brady, I think he's at Preston still, and Callum O'Dowda. O'Dowda might be a little bit lucky because he hasn't really set the world alight. He was promising good player his younger days, but I think he's more of experienced head now, so I think he needs to push out. But look, it's much and much just Paul. Matt Doherty, of course, still playing at Wolves, and Seamus Coleman. There was a doubt about Seamus Coleman at the start of the season, but he has played the last couple of games for Everton, so it's good to have your captain in there. I don't know, have I written him off a few times, but he keeps turning up for Ireland. He's a leader for Irish football. He's a good, honest pro. And he's captain. He's going to be big importance in the next 2 games for us, no doubt.
Yeah. Now we look at the midfielders. Casey McIntyre, is he Jason McIntyre's son or relation of you?
No, he's none at all, as far as I know, Paul.
Sorry.
I don't think he's any relation. No, as far as I know, he's no relation to him. But he has literally qualified for us in the last week or so. With the big announcement about the squad was that he was in it. I think Stephen Kenny had approached him, and he has declared for Ireland now. The paperwork has come through, so he was, I don't know, was he underage in England or not, but he has declared for us, so he's in the squad. And once we cap him now in this Nations League game, there'll be no more discussion. So he's a good player. He plays at Leicester City. But he has been injured that time as well. He isn't sort of he needs a flow of games to get back into the squad. Get consistency in Leicester, but it's the options are like Jason Malumbi, good honors pro Alan Brown. Well, small ones, of course, got promoted with Southampton. Southampton are having a difficult time now. They've lost the first 3 games. They look odds on to going down, Paul, to be honest with you. Jason Knight, of course, still at Bristol City, if I'm not mistaken, in the championship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's look, I remember it was Liam Brady said one time, and particularly in midfields and whole squad, it's probably the worst group of players we've had in a long time. In midfield is where the lack of a creative midfield player, it's all there to see, Paul, and those options, Paul, to be quite honest with you. We don't have a player that can pick out a really good pass or control the tempo of a game. No, we haven't had that for a long time, Paul. Since you can nearly go back to the times of Roy Keane, Matt Holland, the team with McCarthy in 2002. We just don't have that standard midfield players anymore. And it's shown, from Brian Kerr's time, Steve Dalton, even Trapattoni's time, with Glenn Whelan and Keith Andrews in midfield. So we don't really have a creative midfield player. Small one's probably our best option there, to be honest, of that lot. McAteer's more of a winger, really, to be honest with you. So look, it's pretty bare tin there in midfield. I think the far area is probably really too overloaded, but in midfield, yeah, it's glaring how limited options are compared to England. It's chalk and cheese, Paul, to be honest, with their midfield options to ours.
And in the forwards there, I suppose the big news, the man we were talking about, Sammy Smarks, eventually got his move from Blackburn to Ipswich. Yeah. And even though that had a hard start, they were hammered by Man City with a 6-1 or 7-1, but he did get the goal away from home. So he's brought his goal up to the Premiership. So, and I think that he will do, but obviously Ipswich are going to have been a long struggle all year long, but he's probably he's a kind of number 10, as they call him. He wouldn't be an out-and-out striker, but he's in behind it, but he can get the goals. And I was very impressed, even when they got hammered by Man City, he still got the goal for them.
Yeah, the last 4-1, but they actually got the first goal. I think they poked the bear, Paul, to be honest, with the goal that they got. I think 10 or 15 minutes later, they were 3-1 down. But look, Sammy Smadik's great goal for him. His first Premier League goal, his first start. He's played in all 3 games. He came on against Liverpool and he played against Fulham as well. I think he's a good, honest, very good, decent player. He's got top goal scorer in Championship. We were wondering ourselves before the transfer deadline day was coming up, how is it nobody bought him, particularly from the Premier League, the top scorer in Championship? We were saying maybe his age was against it, but eventually we were saying the links with Ipswich will probably come true, and they did, and I'm delighted for him that he's in the Premier League. Jose Obene actually is his teammate now, Paul.
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
Obene got a move from Luton Town to Ipswich Town as well, so they'll be working together for a lot for
and of course, Noel Adam Ide now has made a permanent move to Celtic. He was with him in loan last year and he did fairly well. So and he wasn't getting games at Norwich, but he was Norwich with that. So that's, even though Celtic, unfortunately, the Scottish League has fallen off the cliff, but Celtic will be playing in Europe, and I say he hopefully will get a regular run of games there. So.
Oh, that's for sure, Paul. And he flourished big time at Celtic on loan last season. He's got a lot of goals. Got the winner in the cup final, in the Scottish Cup final as well. He's a good player. I think he needs to run of games. He's more of a confidence player. I think if when he's low, he's very low. He loses confidence very quickly. But I think he needs someone to back him, and I think Celtic backed him, and he scored some very important goals from. He's won a league title. He's won their Scottish Cup, and he now knows. I think Celtic paid something like 9 million from for Scotland. That's probably a lot of money. So yeah, he's been back to the hills. Colin Robinson, just a player there. He plays for Cardiff City still. He's always a good player for Ireland, Paul. I think during Stephen Kenny's time, he got the most goals for us. I think he even got a hat-trick in one of the games. Now, no, it was a friendly, and I accept that. But ever since Robbie Keane or any Irish player rarely scores a hat-trick now. So it's great to have him. Troy Parrott, he's got Alkmaar, yeah. That's right, he's Alkmaar out in the Netherlands. So hopefully he will. I think actually they were in Europe. I think actually they could be playing Tottenham in the Europa League. So that's a good experience. Evan Ferguson is a big one, Paul. He's been injured pretty much all summer. He's getting back to fitness now. He wasn't in the squad for Brighton at the weekend, so that was a little bit concerning. But he is declared fully fit. Now, of course, the time we're recording this, there's still another day or two of training to go. Whether he'll be fit enough to either start, he probably will be fit enough for the bench. But a lot of people say it's a big season for him. His form fell off a cliff after around November time. I think he scored 6 goals before Christmas, and I don't think he scored a goal then after that. And he's injury prone as well last season. So he He needs to run the games, needs confidence build up
But,
again.
yeah, no, listen, can I come in there? No, I agree with
Yeah.
you that, but the first thing to do is he has to get his body right. And he's a
Yeah.
big young fella for a young man. And maybe he's one of these players, and I've seen it in other sports where the fella can physically develop out, and then he gets pick up injuries, we said, you know what? So maybe,
Yeah.
and I don't want to see it, but if he comes back fully fit and recovers and rests and doesn't come back until he's ready to come back, I could be maybe better off. He's still very young. He's only 19 and gone 19. So maybe better off maybe that he's not rushing him back. But hopefully they'll wait, and the Brighton will wait, and the Irish team will wait and wait an extra bit longer to make sure he's right, because we want him back fully, but hopefully he will. But I wouldn't be rushing him back. That's just my quick comment.
Oh yeah, that's